Okay. All right, so sorry about that little technical delay. Let's get started. So again, just to introduce myself, my name is Shivaraja. I'm the Technical Solutions Architect for Haiku. Uh, Today we'll be talking about our Haiku's multi-cloud data protection solution geared for Google Cloud. Now, a couple of disclaimers before we get started. This session is being recorded. We will be sharing the link for the entire recording. This is basically meant for folks who registered for our session but didn't make it, so they'll be able to view the recording. So that's that. And again, as I mentioned before, feel free to ask any questions. You can unmute yourself, ask those questions to make it more interactive, or you can simply paste those questions on the chat, and I'll do everything I can to answer those questions for you. If not, we'll follow up with an email. And last but not the least, please use your real first name and your surname because this will help us to pick up, choose a random person, and the lucky winner will basically win a Haiku swag box. And we will be announcing that winner at the end of our session. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, first things first. We're headquartered in Boston, and we've been in the backup industry for more than 25 years. We've been creating data protection solutions for several blue chip companies, and our company's strength truly lies in our engineering intuitiveness. And finally, we've basically, decided to come up with our own data protection solution. And our primary goal for this particular backup and recovery solution was to introduce simplicity while still being scalable and enterprise ready. And that is exactly how we came up with this solution named Haiku, which is a multi-cloud data protection solution. And we have a lot of strategic partners with our data protection solution, namely Nutanix, Google Cloud, and Azure. And one of the core value about our entire company is our NPS score. Our net promoter score is 91 plus, which is basically the highest score of any other vendor or any other backup backup and recovery vendor, because our NPS score is not only based on the customer service, it encompasses the entire customer experience, starting from the first call of sales engagement, your customer demo, the POC, the entire sales procurement process, and customer service. So we encompass all of those attributes when we try to calculate our NPS score, and it's a very difficult parameter to reach to this level, and that is exactly we focus on to provide not just an enterprise class next gen backup solution, but also an enterprise class proactive customer service. Now, having that said, the kind of customers we basically cater to are customers who are heavily invested in on-prem or in cloud, or especially in a hybrid cloud environment. And we've seen a lot of customers involved with a cloud environment in one shape or form. It could be as simple as just doing simple backups of their on-prem infrastructure to a Google Cloud, or it could be migrating their on-prem virtual machines to Google Cloud, or it could also be as simple as leveraging the Google Cloud as a DR target, right? And we are only seeing this adoption increasing as time goes on. And one of the key challenges that we have noticed is optimization, like the cloud cost optimization, the resource optimization is a constant ongoing effort. And the unified management across your on-prem and your Google Cloud or in a multi-cloud infrastructure is pretty much non-existent. So these are the kind of pain points that we are noticing in the field. And that's where Haiku Protege comes in, right? Where we truly offer a multi-cloud data protection solution that is purpose-built for every single platform. We basically have designed our solution that is totally native to the corresponding platform that you're working with, where we leverage the underlying platform's efficiency to offer a highly effective data protection solution. And this data protection solution is more than just backup and recovery. We also offer application consistent migration and application consistent DR failover and failback capabilities. And Speaking of application consistent, we have this built-in application awareness where we can automatically discover all of your applications residing within your virtual machines, be it on your on-prem or on your cloud infrastructure, and we can provide an application consistent protection. And last but not the least, we also have the ability to secure your backups from ransomware attacks by offering a true air-gapped security, right? And these are the points that I'll be talking about in our session. Now, before I get into why you need to use Haiku or what makes this the best solution, I just wanted to start with why is it really necessary for having a solution like Haiku for Google Cloud environment. The first thing that I wanted to start with is there are a lot of customers out there who believe that once they move their data to the cloud, it's automatically protected. The truth is, when you move your data to the cloud, it is secured. I mean, you have all of these encryption and the user authentication, the identity access management, all those security policies are in place that secure your data, but it's no way in shape or form is backed up, right? Because backup is not a default option, right? It's not a standard offering on your Google Cloud vendor. And the reason why you need backup is to address situations like accidental deletions or data corruption or malicious behavior where disgruntled employees trying to delete data, or ransomware attacks, which is getting more and more prevalent, and of course, cloud outage, right? So you definitely need a backup or a backup and recovery solution, even if you have your data moved to the cloud environment. That's number one. Number two is you basically have a set of customers believing that if they have snapshots, things should be fine. Why would they need a full-fledged backup solution? Now, the answer to that problem, or the answer to that question, is snapshots are good. Don't get me wrong. They form a fundamental building block for a holistic data protection solution, but snapshots alone are not good enough. The reason, because to start with, snapshots can be expensive because snapshots literally reside on your source, on your production data, or on your production disks, and that tends to consume more and more space, and they can be expensive as and when you create more snapshots on more and more VMs. That's number one. Number two is snapshots by default can be crash consistent or data consistent, but they're not application consistent. And you need an additional, a solid backup and recovery solution that can offer application consistent snapshots. And obviously, snapshots can offer recovery, but they're not granular enough when it comes to recovering individual files or folders or bits, parts of application. You would again need a mature data protection solution to offer that granular recovery. And furthermore, snapshots themselves can be extremely difficult to maintain using scripts, because these scripts have to be updated constantly based on the APIs of the underlying Google platform being updated on every release or every version. And snapshots can also have a risk of being a single point of failure, right? If your production environment is compromised, your snapshots can also be compromised because they have the chance to be deleted by a malware or by a malicious user, right? So that brings us to the third question. So, okay, so I realized that I do need a backup solution. So I already have an on-prem backup solution. Why do I need something like Haiku? The answer to that question is very simple. It is because your on-prem, a typical on-prem backup solution is still not evolved to be cloud ready. This is because even when you move to the cloud, you still have those same problems. You still have those same, how do I put this? The same complication, the same complex architecturing, or the same complex workflows like the way you had in your on-prem environment, such as manual installation, discovery, configuration, error-prone maintenance, and upgrades. And you still have to, go about constant planning and sizing exercises because your cloud environment can be dynamic. And at the end of the day, there is no complete platform coverage. Like, you have several components like Google Compute Engine, you have Google Kubernetes Engine, you have Google Cloud Storage. Are you able to back up all of those components with one single solution? The answer is no, because you tend to have siloed backup solutions that have been acquired by different vendors, and they basically try to package it as one common solution. But at the end of the day, when it comes to deployment, they're totally different solutions, which means you have to maintain them separately. So that is exactly why you need a solution like Haiku. So with that being said, the next obvious question is, what do we really deliver? The first thing is, we are a true next-gen data protection solution that is optimized for Google Cloud, right? We have built our solution from ground up. It is offered as a service, and it is basically purpose-built for Google Cloud. The second thing is, we are 100% application focused. We have the ability to discover all of your applications running in your GCE and in your GKE environment. And on top of it, we are 100% cloud native, meaning that we provide you the most secure and highly efficient data protection of all of your workloads running on your Google Cloud environment, or even on-prem workloads to be backed up to your Google Cloud environment or Google Cloud storage. And in the process of offering highly secure and efficient backups, we also improve the operational efficiency to match your cloud expectations, right? I mean, we basically inherit all of your Google Cloud's multi-tenancy capabilities, where end users, they themselves can actually do their own backups or restores, promoting a true DevOps style environment, if required, that is. And last but not the least, we offer one of the most seamless cross-cloud mobility capabilities, where users can actually move their on-prem virtual machines to a Google Cloud environment, or just do simple backups to Google Cloud storage, or even leverage Google Cloud environment as a DR target. And this can also be applied to workloads running within your Google Cloud environment to perform multi-regional DR. So these are the top 5 differentiators, or the top 5 capabilities that we provide to our customers. So let's get into detail about how each of these deliverables, or each of these capabilities, get into. So number 1. So when we say our solution is a next-gen backup solution, the first thing that I wanted to point out is we offer our data protection solution as a pure service, right? All you have to do is just go to Google Cloud Marketplace, hit the subscribe button, and it's going to take like 20 to 30 minutes for us to discover your entire Google service account, right? You as an end user don't have to do anything. All you have to do is just sit back, relax, and have a nice cup of coffee, right? We will be able to discover all of your underlying virtual machines, all of your Google Cloud storage, all of your projects, your regions, and your applications, and that's pretty much about it, right? Any end user can simply log into our solution, and they will basically view the resources that are totally authorized for, that they are totally authorized to view based on the project assignment, right? As simple and easy as that. The second thing is, we eliminate the whole challenge of manual planning and sizing exercises. So it really doesn't matter how big your Google Cloud subscription is. You can have thousands and thousands of VMs, and we will still be able to easily scale across your entire Google subscription account. It is because of our dynamic cloud scale architecture. And here's the best part. Your resources can expand or shrink based on the load, or based on your application workloads, and we will still be able to shrink or expand based on your current Google Cloud environment size. And all of this is done in an automated fashion, and you as an end user won't have to do any manual sizing or planning exercises. Number 3 is, we are naturally optimized to do backups in a way that actually helps you to save more money. For instance, if you have your resources on US East Coast, we will do localized backups within your US East Coast environment to prevent any egress charges. But at the same time, we do support multi-regional backups as well. So that if you would like to have backups performed to a totally different region, we can help you configure that. But when it comes to performing backups localized to your zones or to your regions, that is a default behavior, which basically accounts to saving more and more money and optimizing your cloud utilization. And last but not the least, We offer a true single pane of glass for all of your Google Cloud workloads. That includes your Google Compute Engine, your Google Kubernetes Engine, and your Google Cloud Storage. So just to reiterate what I just talked about, this is how the entire architecture looks like. So you start with your Google Cloud environment. As I mentioned before, you actually have Haiku's a backup as a service hosted as a service within your Google Cloud environment, where we can actually discover all of your Google Cloud subscription account based on the Google Identities Access Management integration. And we will be able to discover all of your resources spread across multiple regions within the globe and discover all of your Google projects, meaning that we will be able to discover all of your Google Compute Engine VMs, your Google Kubernetes Engine containers, and your Google Cloud Storage buckets. And we can seamlessly do backup of all of these resources to Google Cloud Storage in an auto-tiered fashion, right? In addition to that, if you have any on-prem resources that you'd like to do backup to the same Google Cloud Storage, we absolutely can support that. We have the ability to support the backup of all of your on-prem VMs, running on Nutanix, running on VMware, or even your physical servers, perform seamless backups to your Google Cloud Storage. And in addition to that, if you want to fail over those on-prem backups into VMs on Google Cloud, you can absolutely do that. And that is the true power of our solution. So let me just do a quick switch to my demo environment. So as you can see, okay, before I go ahead, I just wanted to confirm that everyone is able to see my screen. So I'm going to call out to Katerina to make sure that she is able to see my web browser.
Yes, I can see. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So this is basically a screen of Haiku Protege, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to log into my Haiku Protege, and you will be prompted with a dashboard that actually showcases all of our platforms protected under one single umbrella, the Haiku Protege Manager of Managers. Now here you can see all of your unprotected versus protected VMs or applications, or your shares, your backup target capacity utilization, your backup policies that are compliant, all that good info. And the one that I really love is the Haiku controllers, because this is basically the place that really shows our strength of being a multi-cloud data protection solution, where we have our Azure infrastructure protected, our Google Cloud infrastructure protected, our on-prem, even O365, right? So from here, you can simply drill down to your preferred environment. So let me just start with Google Cloud. Now, when it comes to Google Cloud, as I mentioned before, we make use of your Google Cloud's identity access management to log in and discover all of your Google Cloud environment, right? This could be all of your virtual machines, like shown under Google Cloud instances, where you basically have the ability to take a look at all of your VMs. And when you go to applications, we also have the ability to discover all of your GKE applications, your SAP HANA applications. And I want to hold a little bit onto this topic because I'll be talking more in my next upcoming slide. But the point is, we have the ability to automatically discover all of your applications with no agents, no plugins, nothing. I mean, everything is automated, and you can actually have an application consistent or a data consistent backup by default. And all of these, discovered resources will be seamlessly backed up to the Google Cloud Storage of your choice. And when we do backups, again, we have plenty of choices. We can do backups to a siloed Google bucket that can be placed in a separate location for security purposes, or they could be backed up locally to your local zone or to your local region. So again, it's totally up to your choice. And all of this is basically possible by Haiku's data protection policies, where this is the place where we basically define the rules on how your data needs to be protected. And these policies even offer a level of automation where you actually have the ability to specify rules on if your new VMs that have been discovered have a certain set of labels or tags associated with them, then you can automate the assignment of those policies to the respective VMs. So a 100% total automation, which basically lets you to set once and forget forever. Like, you don't even have to log into our solution ever again unless you need to do a restore. So that is how easy and intuitive our solution is. So let me just go back to my presentation. Katerina, I just wanted to confirm again, I just moved back to my slide. Are you able to see my slide?
Yeah.
Cool, thank you. All right, so the next thing that I wanted to talk about is our solution is 100% application focused. As I mentioned before, we have the ability to automatically detect and protect all of your applications. These applications can be running on GKE or they can be running on your Google Cloud environment. I'm sorry, your Google Compute engine. Now, when it comes to automatically discovering these applications, this is one of our core abilities where we don't need any agents or we don't need any plugins. Based on the initial discovery and configuration, we will be able to discover your existing applications. And if you have provisioned any new applications, we will be discovering them automatically as well. In addition to that, one of the most cool offerings, which is by default, right? We don't charge you any extra money for this, is that our solution is optimized for SAP HANA. As you all know, SAP HANA is probably one of the most complex application that has a several set of requirements, and SAP HANA in itself has been qualified to run on Google Cloud environment. And we are the only solution today who offer an optimized backup and recovery capability of SAP HANA using the Google Cloud backend agent. This basically is blessed by the SAP HANA vendor itself. So this kind of showcases our commitment for not just protecting your VMs or your containers, but also providing an application-focused protection. So that is the kind of commitment that we are having with Google Cloud. And in addition to that, if you have any custom applications, you don't have to worry about not protecting them because we have a detailed pre-post application framework that actually helps you to protect any of your customized applications running within your Google Cloud instances or on your containers. And in addition to that, we have a very flexible application recovery where we can recover your entire application or your entire suite, or you can actually recover the individual bits and pieces like those individual databases or those individual disks. We also have the ability to recover individual files or folders. It's totally up to your discretion. Now, in addition to that, we are 100% cloud native. What I mean by that is we are probably one of the most highly efficient data protection solution or a backup and recovery solution when storing your backups on your Google Cloud storage. This is because number one, we offer incremental forever backups, and these incremental forever backups are by default deduped at source. And these backups are auto-tiered on your Google Cloud storage based on the tiering retention settings. So you don't need any plugin or any agent to be running on your guest VM for these incremental forever dedupe enabled backups. Like all of these backups are impact free and they're storage efficient. In addition to that, we offer granular recovery. As I mentioned before, you have the ability to recover individual file or folder or application, VM, disks, containers, your choice. And we basically help you to recover based on what your requirement is. In addition to that, as I mentioned before, we are 100% agentless. And this is pretty much the motto of our entire Haiku engineering, where you don't have to install any agents or plugins, not only on your Google Cloud, but also on your on-prem environment. So please check us out on our next session where we'll be talking about our on-prem offering. And even in that session, you'll notice that we are 100% agentless from the get-go. And last but not the least, ransomware proofing your backups. We basically offer the ability to have an air-gapped backup security from your production environment where you can secure your backups from any form of data corruption. So for instance, if your production environment is corrupted, your backups are totally isolated from your production environment, and you still have a chance of recovering from that ransomware attack instantaneously by making use of your backups from your siloed location. And the best part here is when you do a data recovery, you actually have the ability to choose either a snapshot-based recovery or recovering from a remote backup target, which is your Google Cloud storage. So your backups are immutable, and at the same time, they're isolated from your production environment. Now, I didn't mention that while being cloud native, we also increase we also increase the operational efficiency that matches to your cloud environment. And this is what I meant. The first thing is Haiku enables pure DevOps style environments. What this means is we have the ability to enable application owners or end users or developers to do their own backups and their own restores. This is done by simply our solution having this tight integration with Google's identity access management and Google's projects, where we can literally, integrate with your Google security policies while discovering all of your VMs, containers, and Google Cloud Storage. So the administrators don't have to do any additional setup of creating users or setting up permissions, because all of those permissions that you have designed and assigned on your Google Cloud environment are automatically inherited into Haiku. And this is why we always say that we are cloud native, because you don't have to do any additional work with backup security or data security. All of those security policies are automatically inherited by our Haiku backup solution. And in addition to that, we are 100% intuitive and easy to use. I mean, our Google Cloud administrators, our virtualization administrators they won't be stranger to our solution, because we have seen a lot of customers in proof of concepts where they've downloaded our solution or subscribed to our solution, and they've started to use it from the get-go, and they only reach out to us if they have any advanced feature level or function level questions, right? That is because our UI is extremely easy to use. And that's the whole simplicity aspect of our solution, where our end users, be it with regards to Google or on-prem, need zero learning curve in adopting our backup solution. And in addition to that, our policy-based automation basically relieves our admins from manual tasks. Like, you don't have to go through this ridiculously long wizard of 20 or 30 clicks to schedule a backup job of multiple VMs. Like, all you have to do is simply define a policy, define the rules on how that policy needs to be assigned, and that's it, right? We can easily protect your existing and your new VMs automatically, right? And you can truly follow this model of set once and forget forever model, where once these policies are defined appropriately, that's pretty much about it. All of your VMs and all of your containers and your Google Cloud Storage, or even your on-prem resources, will be protected automatically. And last but not the least, we have a true proactive customer tech support, especially when you're running your workloads on Google Cloud, because we keep a constant eye on your entire backup infrastructure. And if there are any backup failures, we will be the first ones to be notified, and we will start troubleshooting and fixing those issues. And in the most of the cases, we have fixed issues even before our customers realize that there was a problem. And in certain cases, when we are not able to resolve or troubleshoot those issues by ourselves, we will notify our customers saying that, hey, we may need your help in fixing this issue. But regardless, customer support will be reaching out to their customers to fix a problem, rather than customers reaching out to customer service. That is a total paradigm shift, right? And that is exactly what we are focusing on. And that is exactly why our NPS score is 91 plus. So last slide, cross-cloud mobility, right? To start with, we have the ability to move your workloads even within your Google Cloud environment in a multi-regional fashion. And this has basically helped a lot of customers with dev test environments, where we have enabled end users to easily clone their VMs or applications in a multi-regional fashion. And this has been one of the most greatest advantages for a typical dev test environment. In addition to that, we also make use of those same workflows for a simplified DR capability, where you can simply fail over your workloads in a multi-regional fashion within your Google Cloud environment, right? And these failovers and failbacks are extremely easy to do. Now, if you're a pure on-prem customer and you're testing your waters on Google Cloud, we can help you with that as well, because we've been doing backups of all of our on-prem workloads to Google Cloud Storage for a very long time. We support auto tiering, we support backups and restores from the Google Cloud environment to your on-prem infrastructure in a seamless fashion. And this is something that we offer by default. And if you're satisfied with the way Google Cloud is, you can simply move your backups into VMs, or you can migrate them or failover those backups into VMs on your Google Cloud environment in an instantaneous fashion. This is literally an express ticket to Google Cloud. And if you're not really happy with that, or if you want to move certain workloads back to your on-prem environment, you could still do that as well. So we provide you a complete flexibility where you can move your workloads to and fro from between your Google Cloud and your on-prem infrastructure. So to summarize, these are the top Haiku differentiators. Number one, we are a true data protection as a service solution where our end users don't have to go through any manual planning, installation, configuration, or sizing exercises. We are a pure cloud scale architecture where end users don't have to do any manual sizing or planning. All they have to do is basically discover provide their service account, and we will be able to automatically, expand or shrink based on your current Google Cloud environment. In addition to that, we are 100% native to Google Cloud, where we not only make use of your Google Cloud's VM-based snapshots or VDIS-based snapshots on your GKE and GKE environment, but we also integrate with your Google Cloud's integrated access management, identity access management, your Google Cloud projects, and we integrate with your Google Cloud Marketplace. And when it comes to our billing, Haiku's billing is a simple line item on your Google's monthly billing, as simple as that. And as always, we are 100% agentless solution, be it with regards to protecting your workloads on Google or on your on-prem, so you don't have any performance penalty. And we always offer air-gapped backups, be it with regards to your on-prem or your Google Cloud environment, so that you can recover easily from an impending ransomware attack. And we also offer one-click cloning and DR capabilities, which could be used for several use cases, for test dev environment or for DR, failover and failback use cases. So finally, just to summarize, our solution is basically available as a service where we make use of all of your Google Cloud's goodness, be it with regards to snapshots or IAM or projects, and we offer a true data migration, data protection, and DR capabilities with one-click simplicity, extremely fast recovery, super quick subscription where you can simply go to Google Cloud Marketplace and subscribe to our solution, near instant discovery where you don't have to do anything from the back end to discover your environment. Everything is automated with inbuilt intelligence for application awareness, and you as an end user don't have to go through these manual strenuous tasks of deployment, maintenance, configuration, sizing. Everything is automated, and you don't have to go through any painful learning curve to adopt our backup solution. So that is the true value add of why you should consider Haiku for Google Cloud. So please check us out on Google Cloud Marketplace. You can also check us out on www.haiku.com, or simply please email us at info@haiku.com. So I'm just going to see if there are any questions on the chat.
Yeah, I've been interested in them, Shiva. There's only been one question, so.
Got it. Thank you.
No worries.
Right, so I'm just going to give a couple of more minutes, or maybe a minute or two, to see if there are any further questions on chat.
You can ask away too. Open up your mic and just ask a question if you have anything.
All right, so while we wait for that, it's time for us to pick our winner. So it's up to Katerina to choose our lucky winner. And I have it on the chat, and it's Carlo Choi. So Carlo, congratulations. We will be reaching out to you via email to send you the Haiku swag box. Congratulations again. Awesome. All right, so if you like this session, if you'd like to hear more, today's session was about the cloud native backup for Google Cloud. We also have a last session on the May 21st, where we will be talking about what's new with the Haiku for Nutanix Mine v3. And this will be presented by me and my very close friend of mine, Jason Delasio. He's one of the core experts of Haiku on-prem or Haiku backup solution. And we will be, not just talking about the solution, but we'll be doing a live demonstration. So please, please, please join us, and we'll be more than happy to share all the details. So let me just do a final check on the chat. I don't see anything. So we'll just, if there are no further questions, we can adjourn. Going once, going twice. All right. Thank you. Thank you all for joining our session.